I've been playing Roblox since 2016. And I swear I've basically played everything, but I haven't touched some of the oldest games in years. So today, I'm gonna be revisiting 5 of the oldest Roblox games to see what they're like now. Make a Cake and Feed the Giant Noob was launched in June of 2010, and right away it stood out because of how simple it was. Make a cake, send it down the line, feed the giant noob. Most people didn't realize the creator, Benster, didn't even have Builders Club at the start, so he couldn't upload custom assets, meaning the earliest version was forced to rely on Roblox's pre-made cake meshes, which were like garbage, I'm not gonna lie. And because of that, the game was so bland and just bare, having a few basic stations, the giant noob of course, a small button style shop, VIP, and basically one main cake type. But as the months went on, the game slowly got updated with more cakes and small extra features that made it feel bigger without losing the simple loop of just putting the cake into the giant noob's mouth. And by around 2012, it had climbed to roughly 250,000 visits. Then, Ben stepped away for about a year to focus on life. And when he came back later, he got hit with the craziest surprise. The game had grown to about 1.5 million visits and was pulling 300 concurrent players. This was crazy back then, by the way, for Roblox. Basically blowing up without him even realizing it was there. That's when he realized an update wasn't enough anymore. So in May of 2015, he started building something way bigger, Make a Cake back for seconds. And it was his first solo project, but the scope got so big, he brought in more developers to help polish it and add more features. And then on January 1st of 2016, Back for Seconds released and instantly exploded to 3 million plays within the first week. Because it didn't just copy the original, it upgraded practically everything, turning the old simple conveyor game into a way bigger experience with way more content, which ultimately led to the success currently with 220 million visits and counting. Now before we jump into the next game, I've got something crazy to show you real quick. Temu is sponsoring today's video, and they gave me a code that you guys can use to unlock a $0 deal on a bunch of stuff, like keyboards, mice, and headphones. And yeah, I thought it was fake at first too, but listen, this is the part everyone messes up. You do not enter my code at checkout, it only works if you type it in the Temu search bar. So download the Temu app, open it, tap the search bar, and type KCG9828. Then you'll see the promo pop up and the items you can grab for free. And the link's also in the description below. Sword Fights on the Heights 4 was released in March 2008 by Shaletsky. Shaletsky is known as one of the most iconic Roblox accounts. He was crowned as the 261st user and a former Roblox employee. He's known for games such as Nuke the Whales and of course Sword Fights on the Heights. In Sword Fights on the Heights, you spawn on a set of floating islands, and it's all free-for-all PvP, where the goal is to get the most kills by sword fighting people without getting knocked off the map. You can pick up swords and items around the map to help you. Each sword has a different ability, which makes it completely unique. User Milkman was the first account to ever hit 1,000 KOs in a single session. This marked a pinnacle point for the game's history. In March of 2009, Minecraft YouTuber Technoblade uploaded a montage of him playing the game on his old channel. He was 10 years old when he first uploaded this video. In December of 2011, Sword Fights on the Heights became a BC only game, meaning only players that own the Builder Club could play it. This sparked a lot of criticism and was later reverted a couple months later. Overall, this game is a pretty simple sword simulator, if you want to put it that way, and one of the oldest Roblox games on the platform. The original Lumber Tycoon started in October of 2008, and back then, most tycoons were all the same. Stand there, wait for money, click buttons, and repeat. But the developer Defaultio didn't want that. He wanted players to earn money based on actual work. So in the original game, you chopped trees, hauled logs, and sold wood instead of waiting for cash. But there was still a problem. Once you played enough, there wasn't much creativity. So Defaultio started working on a bigger project. So early, it wasn't even called Lumber Tycoon 2 yet. It was literally just called Test. And then in July of 2015, it went public and instantly stood out, because it wasn't a normal tycoon at all. Instead of pre-built structures, you can build anything you wanted, place pieces wherever you want, and make your own plot. And then in January of 2016, the game hit a huge era of updates, with new areas like Tropics and the Maze, which gave players new places to explore and rare wood to hunt down. And that's why even years later, Lumber Tycoon still has a strong community. But the truth is, the community is what holds it up. Crossroads dates all the way back to 2006, making it one of the earliest and most important Roblox games ever created. During its early development, it started as a simple prototype called Shooting Gallery, which was mainly used to test multiplayer combat and basic weapon mechanics. Later in that same year, it was uploaded as Brick Battle and eventually renamed into what players know now as Crossroads. What made the game stand out was how simple but effective the design was. The map is built with 4 identical bases on each corner, all connected by bridges and ramps that funnel everyone straight into the center. So no matter where you spawn, you're basically guaranteed to run into somebody within seconds. You spawn in, grab classic Brick Battle weapons like the rocket launcher, sword, bombs, and slingshot, and the goal is simple: outplay other players and stay alive. And because there's no objectives or upgrades, you can rush mid for non-stop fights. That's why Crossroads became the blueprint for Roblox combat. It was played constantly in the platform's early years. It became a go-to testing ground for weapons and PvP mechanics, and the layout was so perfect that it got copied and remixed in a ton of games you probably know about. Even today, if you see a 4-corner map with a central arena, there's a good chance it was probably inspired by Crossroads. Flood Escape Classic first hit Roblox on August 15th of 2010, but the version most people think of as Flood Escape really took shape around August/September of 2011, when the game's core systems and early versions started rolling out. And it stood out instantly because it wasn't just an obby, it was a race against a rising flood where every second matters. The premise is simple: you load into a facility, the water starts rising, and you and up to 8 players have to hit buttons to unlock doors, clear obstacle rooms, and make it to the tunnel before the flood reaches you. If the water gets too high on your body, you're instantly done, so the entire round is just pure pressure. What made it so addictive was the teamwork aspect. Some maps required you to split up and hit buttons as fast as you can, and even if one person hesitated, it could cost everyone the whole round. And because you're racing other players and the water, it created the constant panic where you're watching the flood climb, trying to remember the correct path. Over time, the game evolved from a basic round-based setup into a bigger lobby with multiple game modes and difficulty choices, like easy, medium, hard, and extreme. As players got better, the game turned into a speedrun style challenge, learning map routes, optimizing button orders, and trying to beat rounds as fast as possible. Even with hundreds of millions of visits, Classic eventually got its player base replaced by the sequel Flood Escape 2. Which is why today it sits way lower than its peak, but it's still remembered as one of Roblox's most iconic pressure games. And honestly, going back and playing these games just proves one thing: Roblox didn't start with crazy graphics or massive updates. It started with simple ideas done really well. Games like these are the reason that platform even exists the way it does today. If you played any of these games back then, let me know which one was your favorite and which ones I missed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.